Shall we spring the other surprise?
What?
Oh yeah.
I just want to know why this was kept a secret from me, because you two were both going, we're getting someone involved.
It had
Why is this-
something of a
I don't know
little.
how best to do this, but Ash has some news.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Ash, shall we let you tell the story?
Yes, please do.
Yeah, go for it. So as you mentioned earlier that you fell asleep during last week's stream with Masood. And it's a good thing you did, because we went down a weeny bit of a rabbit hole that night. So you might remember that we found what we thought might have been Mr. Brennan's obituary.
Yes.
We were all very sad.
Yeah.
But it
And
turned
then
out
we were like, it's not him, it's not him.
Ken
Yeah.
Brennan's obituary.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So after you passed out,
I fell asleep. It was the middle of the night. I fell asleep.
so we found that Ken Brennan has a LinkedIn page. So if I've got a couple of minutes, I know we're late doing this, but I'll try
Ash, take your time.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Don't worry.
So on his LinkedIn page, it lists that he was the president of Olympian Investigative Services, right? So I decided to check that company out, and I did. And Olympian Investigative Services is still running. It's an active business. And they are owned by KAB Investments. This is all going to be very, very boring, I'm sure. So,
opposite land.
so we checked out KAB Investments Incorporated, and sad story, they dissolved in 1999.
Damn it.
Around about 2004, 3 companies sprung out of the ether, all with some variation of K.A.B, KAB Investments Inc, blah, blah, blah. So we had a little look at those.
Did they do 9/11?
And that's how we...
That's where this is going.
So KAB Investments has, like you go on Companies House, you can see directors, legal officers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They have a director who is one Ken Brennan.
Oh, yeah.
The legal officer for that is none other than one Thomas A. Kennedy, Esquire.
He's a Kennedy.
Yeah.
Well, I've looked into that since. Unfortunately, no. That would have made a brilliant story. But
Okay, he's a Kennedy, but he's not a Kennedy.
I can't confirm. I'll try and do some more.
Ash, you're a super sleuth.
I am living for this.
Well,
I know where it's going. Oh.
Yeah.
So Thomas A. Kennedy, it turns out he's been involved with a number of companies. Now, I literally did this just before we got on the call. My sleuthing only goes so far. But I know the name Raytheon Technologies. I'm not too sure why, but I'm sure that's popped up in the news. So that's Ken Brennan's business partner. Now, it turns out that Ken Brennan PI Incorporated is another company that sprung up in 1994. They have a website. One of the little things that we found, they have a website. It's what we think or purported to be Ken's own business that he now runs as kind of a private manager. And Ken's got merch.
Oh, yeah.
Ken has merch.
Stop it. Stop it.
So,
Oh my God.
unfortunately, all of them are out of stock, apart from golf tees. Ken Brennan golf
You can get
tees.
Ken
I'll take 1,000. I'll take 1,000.
So,
Look, it's just piped up in the chat.
Ken Brennan won.
Ken Brennan, I can't see the chat on my screen, unfortunately.
Ken Brennan 101. Everything this man
True.
says is true.
So you can get a Ken Brennan clipboard.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now it's made out like the Ace of Clubs as a clipboard, and it says this: strategy. Terminate your adversary's present and future option to live outside in a cell.
Oh, Ken Brennan.
Basis: he's a murdering piece of shit who deserves nothing but justice.
Love it. Love it.
So the golf tees are just like, KenBrennanPI.com.
are they like 8 inches long, mate? You know what I mean?
They're green and pointy.
If that's your jam.
He has a golf towel, and on the golf towel it is said.
We'll need it, Ken.
I was going to open this by saying, Sue, get yourself some tissues in the towel because you're going to cry or get wet.
Oh, Ash, that's all I meant. I just meant me and Ken going for a swim. Jeez.
Yeah, swim. That's right.
Ken says it's not the size that matters.
The golf towel says, in life or golf, never fucking give up.
Yeah. Fucking love Brennan. Love it. That's solid gold.
The keychain that you can buy is just a picture of somebody being cuffed behind their back. It's like a close-up of their hands.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
And the inscription on that is, told you I'd be back.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies.
Oh, this is brilliant. These just get better. You can buy a mouse pad or a mug. Now, they both have the same thing on. It's a side profile of Ken, but in like black and white pencil drawing. And that's the kind of motif on that is working for cause, not for applause.
Yeah, that's the words I live by. That's the word I live by, Ken. That's the word I live by.
Me and Ken compliment each other perfectly because I am working for applause, not for cause. I'm like, hi guys, I'm at the protest. Please like my tweet.
It's yeah, Stark Mark's right. There's like they do all of their intensity seems to be a broad spectrum of everything from like I'm gonna fucking get you to like, hey man, I'm just a detective doing his thing.
Bug Bob doesn't know what's happening and he doesn't know who Ken is, so I would suggest listen to the podcast.
Sorry, go back, Bug Bob. He comes up a lot.
It would take too long.
yeah.
To explain,
So the one
listen to the January 1st episode or something.
The one that we thought would be especially poignant for you, Suze, we were going to do a GoFundMe. Unfortunately, they're out of stock right now. But there was talk of a GoFundMe for the Ken Brennan pillow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I'm not alone. There are other people. Oh, Freddie, what am I going to do?
The picture on the pillow is like a puzzle with one piece suggestively being slotted in. And it says, there's only one way the pieces fit.
Yeah, exactly. And you're the rest of the puzzle, right? And he is the bit that fits. Yeah?
The piece.
I see what he's doing there, and I like it.
So that's pretty much all apart from a Ken Brennan PI t-shirt, which is just Ken Brennan PI.
Well, I would wear it. I'd wear it with pride. Ken, you're in the chat. Have you got any like surplus? Have you got any like shop soiled? Maybe that old Suze won't mind. I'll put it through the washing machine. I don't care. I just want you to be part of my life, Ken.
So, off of the back of that, I managed to track down. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ken's got some in his bunker.
So, we managed to find.
We're making another drink.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Make another drink.
What are you drinking, Ash? Are you drinking anything?
Oh my goodness, it's embarrassing to say some co-op
No.
cider.
Co-op cider.
Oh, that's all right.
Absolutely fine, mate.
There are people on the cider.
Absolutely fine, mate.
I hope people are clipping this like mad.
Yeah,
by the way.
I really hope so, because this whole section, we're gonna have to release this whole segment.
Oh,
this is amazing.
So
the best is yet to come.
What cider are you drinking, Ash? Which cider is it?
It's literally just co-op shitty apple shit cider.
I was hoping you'd say that.
That's
other ciders available.
White lightning, baby.
Oh, I'm really glad the chat's going mad. I'm really glad everybody's loving this as much as we are.
Objective cow, this is fucking gold.
mate.
What are you Why is everyone drinking? What did I do?
Oh, you've started. Yeah,
I think Ken Brennan is part of the drinking game.
Oh, Jazz.
And because we're now talking about Ken non-stop, I think that keeps having to drink.
Jazz, you're in for some Ken Brennan action right here.
Right, so where are we up to in the investigation so far? Right, so I think I've covered all the companies, all the links.
Sure.
Obviously, through LinkedIn, you can contact people. So I took it upon myself to outreach a message, or reach out rather, sorry. And I think so did that. There's a person who turns up in the chat quite often, Zoe OEO.
She's here now, yeah.
She's here. She's here now.
Is she there? Hi, Zoe.
Very,
Every time I see the username, I just think Jungle. Zoe.
That's fantastic.
Here she is. She says yo in the chat.
So I reached out via that, and there's also a contact form on his website. So we did. A rather inebriated me reached out last week.
Don't get pissed ever.
And I'll apologise in advance for this because the email that I sent made it sound like I was your management or something.
You know
You've got the job.
You've got the job.
You've absolutely got the job, mate. Absolutely.
Please.
So I'll read you the email that I sent. It's Dear Sir, I have contacted you on LinkedIn, but that has a limited character count, so apologies for approaching you twice. I am a listener of a British-based podcast called Mystery on the Rocks. They covered the Room 348 case on an episode, and your contribution to the case has become something of a legend to quite a few thousand listeners. You were constantly talked about on the Twitch streams we run and on Twitter amongst the fan base. We would love to interview you or just have you on the podcast for a chat. If you could find it in your heart to do a short Zoom or Skype meeting or anything else that suits, it would make an awful lot of people across the globe very happy to hear more about your extraordinary career and life. I hope this email finds you well in the current crisis and wish you the best. Yours sincerely, Matthew Cooper.
Oh yeah.
So,
Thank you, Ash. Oh my goodness.
And we didn't hear anything.
Okay, well, Ken.
Until today.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
What?
I know.
Is he about to enter the chat? Am I going to have to?
Not quite. So this is so I received a response.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a little bit 50-50 on this because the email that I received, I'm happy to forward it on. It's come through in what looks like font from a word processor circa 1990. There's no punctuation whatsoever. Punctuation.
He's like Hulk film reviewer. He just like slams the things with his hands.
Loop says he's still using a typewriter.
Then he has to scan it into the computer.
Yeah. He's like, this fucking thing sucks.
You reckon when he does that, he whistles the theme tune for Magnum PI?
Oh my! So we got this email back saying,
Indeed. I'm Sarah, Ken's assistant. With my apologies for the delay in replying to you, we had to put a pause on Ken's current active homicide cases we were working on when the pandemic hit, and are in the process of prepping again to head back out on the road to resume.
back on the road! On the road! He's just driving from town to town, just fucking solving crimes.
Oh, cigarette dangling from his mouth, and he's like, murder don't stop, and I just can't.
Riding that sweet Harley, be like, yeah, I got stuff to solve.
Can I interest you in a golf tee?
Are you in the market for an 8-inch golf tee?
Stopping at every petrol station, opening the boot.
Yeah, just lined across the. That's so good.
Oh my god!
So,
Thank you for taking the time to send your request. Ken truly appreciates it. He uses his LinkedIn strictly for law enforcement, so any stray messages we receive through that, not relating to its purpose, always take longer for me to see and respond to. Given our pending schedule and the need to catch up with Ken's interrupted casework, unfortunately there isn't time right now to accommodate your request. When we become current with Ken's active cases, I can't give you a time frame on that. I'd be happy to add you to the list of requests to follow up with if you'd like. In the meantime, again, please know Ken truly appreciates your interest and the sincerity with which it was conveyed.
oh, yeah.
Stay well, take care, and be safe. Kind regards, Doug.
Oh!
Hell yeah.
So we have a direct line into the office of Ken
Oh
Brennan.
my god! This
Amazing.
is ridiculous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that. While
Oh my
you were pissed. Mystery on the Rocks have the best listeners.
Absolutely.
Don't we?
Absolutely.
Don't we just?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
It was fun. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. I remember as it was happening, I'm playing Stardew and I could barely concentrate on the game because I'm like, what the hell's going on? Fucking Ken Brennan.
Don't give a fucking shit about those chickens.
Yeah.
Did you?
And
Fuck
I
'em,
was
man.
just like, not realizing. I was probably dreaming about Ken and not
exactly.
knowing why.
Oh.
So my next question is: do you want us to call you Ash or Matthew?
Either and or.
Either and or. No worries.
Ash Guyver's like a moniker I've had since I was 13.
I
It started out from Ash Evil Dead and Guyver, like a Japanese anime thing.
Oh, okay.
And then as I went through life, it became Ash from Pokemon, and it just mixed.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well,
Ashley
we
Cole.
can't thank you enough for you taking that upon yourself to do that.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Hey, absolutely
Oh, hey,
no
no.
worries, man.
Might
Ash,
I
you're
say
the
best guest yet?
super.
Yeah, absolutely the best guest
Yeah.
yet. Absolutely, 100%. Oh my
Not only
god.
did he put his headphones on, he went and did a load of sleuthing. Went and sleuthed and found Ken Brennan.
And I made my hair as sonic as I could for you.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Ash.
Thanks.
I didn't know any of this, and I was like, "Oh, if Chris and Masood think we shouldn't do a mystery, that's fine. We'll just chat away." It was better than I ever
Wasn't
imagined.
it?
So good.
Jimmy, by the way, Matthew, Jimmy says you're the best guest the podcast has ever had.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're very kind.
No,
Thank you.
no, genuinely.
Thank
It was
you.
when you messaged me earlier, I was like, my heart jumped. I was like, yes, 100% yes.
So, did you guys organise this today?
I heard about it today.
Yes, and Ash and I had been back and forthing both on my stream and then today on Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I'm like blown away. Look at Ken Brennan. He's put all
look at
emotes
that.
in the
Yeah.
chat. He's
to be
here.
fair as well, neither
all
Masood
dead
or Chris
people?
have seen the email, so that was
Yeah.
new to them as
Yeah,
well.
I hadn't seen the email. Yeah, I was
Oh
just
yeah.
like,
So we didn't know what the email said.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Well, I honestly don't know. You know, the Ken Brennan Inc. Website. I mean, feel free to check it out yourselves. But
yeah.
I'm not too sure whether that might be some kind of cash-in, you know, try and sell some merch when he went in Vanity Fair kind of thing. It does list. I did do a tiny weeny bit of extra diving because it gives
This guy.
on the front page of the website, it gives like his licensed investigator number and the district that he's registered in, and they all match up. It all seems kosher. The registered business addresses and stuff, we've all looked at that. Which is, I was asking Masood if he had any friends in America, particularly in the Florida area. You know, take a walk downtown. So yeah, we've done just about as much due diligence as we possibly can.
Because I remember that's right. We were playing
amazing.
and it just kept popping up. It's like, all right, so we've checked this out. We've got this thing, this street address, and I was like, shit, this is really going. This is great. It was...
even if this is a catfish, I'm going to keep
absolutely.
it
Absolutely.
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
it's
Even
kind
if
of like-
it is a catfish, like I won't be unsatisfied if it turns out somebody's having a
neither will
son.
I. No.
Victimless
It would
crime.
be, I think, oh, wow. I mean,
That's so
so
good.
I'm glad I didn't now, but I was toying with the idea, again, being very inebriated, I was toying with the idea when I wrote the first email to say that, you know, one of the hosts of this podcast has developed quite a crush, you know, trying to
Three of the hosts.
all
Three of the
three,
hosts.
baby.
What are you
All
on about?
three of us, we're going to fight over him. If this Sarah is involved with him romantically in some way, I'll scratch her fucking eyes out.
Well, Bob,
Ash, I have a question for you. Ash, is that your bedroom?
no, this is my office.
Because
Which of course means that we're now either dealing with a catfish in the chat.
Or
It's really him, Ash. Why you have to be a bitch? Why are you being such a bitch?
well, like
Or
as
it's-
somebody says, I can't remember who said it. It was a bit. I think it might have been Jimmy. But even if it is a catfish, it's still going to be a lot of fun.
yeah, it's still,
my
it's still
God,
one of our
yeah.
most fun.
Because
Well,
it won't be
I
a
just love the
catfish.
last-
I'm going to date him.
The
Ken's
last
going to
line
save
of her email was, you know, feel free to check in with me at a later
Yeah,
date.
absolutely.
So
And
Well, I feel like we owe you some money or something. I don't know. Money, maybe?
Now, if I did to speak to you guys is
Oh,
enough.
thank you.
Brilliant.
That's
Oh,
very,
Oh,
very sweet.
what's a load of shit? We're a pain in the arse. We're annoying.
So, do you want to hear the reply that I wrote back to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, I do.
So, again, rather inebriated. No, this time it was only this afternoon. So, it was very short and blunt, but I was like, "Hi, Sarah. Thanks so much for your reply. It would be fantastic if you could add us to the list. To be honest, just to know we reached you is amazing in itself. We British are a patient sort after all, so always happy to join the queue. If I may be so bold, I'd also like to extend the offer to your good self, with Mr. Brennan's permission, of course, to get a view of what it's like to work with or around him. Many thanks for getting in touch. I hope you and your family are all okay in the current climate. Yours sincerely, Matthew Cooper."
Mate,
So-
mate, you are 100%. You got the job. You are 100% our manager, right there. Done.
Oh,
Give this man his 20%, whatever the percent is. I don't know what the percent is.
20%.
Give him the percent.
We shall see what transpires. Like I
Thank
said,
you
it's probably
so
the
much.
first play in a long game.
That's amazing.
Oh.
So amazing.
Oh.
can you imagine?
My favourite bit
Kendall
of it,
from
the whole thing was the bit in the email she sent you originally, where she said Mr. Brennan only uses his LinkedIn for crime.
I know.
It's so great. Yeah,
Prime
yeah.
Minister.
He uses his LinkedIn strictly for law enforcement.
Law enforcement. That's it. And then there's everybody else on LinkedIn using it for networking.
For networking, it's all about the laws, mate. That's what you need.
Wow.
You need to get the.
When it said that, when that bit came out, it was like, I only use it for law enforcement. I was like, next top's coming off. Oh boy!
Oh
my
man.
God, Ash, thank you so much for doing this.
But
That's
that was
amazing.
thank you. That was incredible. So
Oh my
much.
god. Thank you so much. Genuinely, another
The
claps
only
for-
sort of deal was, I did agree this with Sue before we got it. If he actually ever does get in touch,
Yeah.
I'm on the episode.
Oh, 100%.
You're on the episode. Oh,
Absolutely.
of course.
Of course you are. Of
For
course you are.
real.
I mean, that's
100%.
not even. You don't even have to bargain that.
No.
That's
No
not even
bargains.
a counter offer. Yeah, you are.
You
You're
are,
right.
yeah. You 100%. 100%.
Well, it's been lovely to talk to you all.
Oh,
And
thanks so much. And
you. It's
You
lovely
as
to meet
well.
you.
More than you know.
Yeah.
I only ever reply with the words "always great to meet a fan" when I get some like horrible troll come after me and like go, "You're ugly and you're not funny," and I go, "Always great to meet a fan." When it's Ash, I can say it for real. Always great to meet a fan of
Genuine.
this show.
Of this show.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Ash.
thank you so much.
Genuinely.
You're more than welcome. Well, thanks
Ash-
again for letting me come on.
Of course.
I mean, letting
No
you, we
worries.
would insist. I can't believe
Mate.
it. I can't believe the boys kept it a secret. The
Oh,
bloody
yeah,
lads.
yeah. And I'm dreadful with secrets as well.
You only had to keep it for today, though. So
That's true. That's
Well
true.
done.
Usual
Thank
hours.
you, Ash.
We
You're more than
absolutely
welcome.
actually, Ash, if you can get back on the chat, have a look at what everyone's saying because
Hey,
there's a lot of
get
nice
a lot of
comments
love.
about
A
you, yeah.
lot of love, Ash. A lot of love
Give
in
Ash
the
his own
chat.
segment.
Absolutely.
We love
Well,
Ash. We
I'm
need
just
to
your normal average guy. I haven't got anything to him.
What do
You're a
you?
bloody
Do you have
super sleuth.
anything to plug, Ash? What about your Twitter? What's your
it's just-
Twitter? I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, let us know
I
that.
think it's Ash Guyver.
All
Ash
follow
Guyver.
Ash, guys. All follow Ash Guyver.
I'm
I'll put
pretty
it in
sure.
the chat. There we go.
Yeah.
Loops has asked, can he do a slot every month?
Yeah, you know.
I'll tell you what I can do. If it's agreeable to you guys, if there is any development, we can do a 5-minute catch up every month and
Ah,
where we're at. in
yes.
100%.
The Chucky doll is getting a lot of love in the chat as well, Ash.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell you what, I am terrified that just as you sign off, it's going to move.
Yeah. That's it. That's the last we'll hear of you.
Just like
Yeah,
yeah,
look around.
just-
Yeah, just as we click it, it'll just go.
It kicks the kids
man.
out the room.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Stay out of Daddy's office. Trying to
Yeah.
find PIs for a podcast to listen to.
Cool.
Oh,
Well, thanks
mate.
again for having me on.
Hey,
Thank
no
you.
worries, Ash.
Cool.
Hey.
No, it's just thank you, Ash.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Cheers, Ash. Have a good cider and thank you. This has been a highlight of my lockdown.
Absolutely.
Mine
you so
too.
much.
do the
Mine
whole.
too.
No, you hang up.
Give it up for Ash, everybody.
Give it up for Ash,
Claps in
everybody.
the chats. Claps in the chats.
Amazing.
Oh,
That's
amazing.
brilliant.
That was fantastic,
Oh.
guys. Oh my goodness.
Brilliant.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. That was amazing. amazing.
That
That
was
was so
yeah.
brilliant. That was
Who'd have thought
incredible.
it? When you came to me saying me and Masood are thinking of starting up a podcast, do you want to be part of it? And I went, this won't happen. Yeah. All right. I never thought it would come to this.
Never thought we would get fucking the legend, Ken Brennan.
Oh,
Do
fingers
you know what
crossed.
this needs? Flatbreads and dip.
Flatbread.
BRB.